Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, we will talk about user-defined functions in the C programming language. Just to recall, a function is a block of code that performs a specific task. Then, we categorized functions into two main types, built-in functions and user-defined functions. We discussed built-in functions in the previous video, and today we will talk about user-defined functions. In C programming, a user-defined function is a function that is created by the programmer to perform a specific task. These functions are not built-in functions provided by the C language, but are defined by the user to modularize the code, improve readability, and enable code reuse. This is the general syntax for defining a function in C. Return type, which are data types, function name, then inside parentheses parameters, then inside curly braces, you have to include your main code. For example, in this defined function, int is the data type of the function, which means that the function will return an int. Add underscore number is the name of the function. Int a and int b are the parameters. A and b both have int data type. Then it performs addition, and at the end, the function returns the result. Another thing to have in mind is that when you define a function, you should also declare the return type, name of the function, and the parameters at the top of your program beneath the header files. For this particular example, the prototype should be int, add underscore numbers, then inside parentheses, int a, comma, int b, then a semicolon. Another important point about return type and functions. We have been using the main function for every example. Notice that the main's function return type is an int. The main function returns an int to show the execution of the program. When the execution faces no problem, the main function returns 0. This returning of number is crucial for programmers in debugging and finding errors in code. You can check the return status of a function using echo $, then a question mark. Let's head to VS Code for practical examples. I will open a file, code functions.c. Now I will use the echo function to return the status code of the main function. Hash include stdio.h, then int main void, then inside curly braces, printf, inside quotations, hello, comma, world, \n, then a semicolon, then return 0, semicolon. Now let's compile this. Make functions and then /functions. You can see it outputs hello world. Now in terminal, echo $, then a question mark, and hit enter. It says 0, which means that no error occurred during execution. Programmers will assign different values for different functions to check for errors in their code. Now I will declare a function. Hash include standardIO.h, then hash include cs50.h, then int main void, inside curly braces, int number1 equals to get underscore int, inside parentheses and quotations, number1 a colon, then a semicolon, int number2 equals to get underscore int inside parentheses and quotations number2 colon, then a semicolon, then return 0, a semicolon. Now I will define a new function, int multiply inside parentheses int num1 comma int num2, then inside curly braces int result equals to num1 multiplied by num2, then a semicolon, then return result, then a semicolon. Now at the top I should declare the prototype just beneath the header files, int multiply inside parentheses int num1 comma int num2, then a semicolon. So in this function the return type is int, then the name of the function is multiply, then we have two parameters num1 and num2, both of them have an int data type. Then a new variable is declared, int result, which is a variable that stores the multiplication of num1 and num2. Then the function returns the result. Now in my main code, int result equals to multiply inside parentheses number1 comma number2, then a semicolon, then printf inside parentheses, then inside quotations placeholder for int or %d, then a multiplication sign followed by a %d equals to %d \n, then comma number1 comma number2 comma result, then a semicolon. Notice that in this line the multiply function gets two parameters, number1 and number2. These two parameters are multiplied in the multiply function, and then the multiply function returns the result. The result will be stored in this result variable. Now to compile this, gcc functions.c-o functions-lcs50 and run this using /functions. It asks for number1 40 and for number2 50. It outputs 40 multiplied by 50 equals to 2000. This was all for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Like and subscribe. Have a nice time.